Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore. Continuing, technically still on the common route, so anyway. A few hours later, preparations for dinner went smoothly. Right across the table was a feast for 6. Well now, the food looks very appetizing indeed. So Adolphe got to enjoy these wonderful dishes when he was living at the orphanage with you. It smells so good. I envy him. Okay. Go away, Norton. Jesus Christ. Like, scares the bejesus out of me. All of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with my computer? Listen. After my computer blue screened yesterday, I think I was recording our other game. I was in the middle of, like, recording stuff, because I'm unfortunately having to record both back and forth now. Not the way I like to do it, but it's just the timing, right? All of a sudden, I was like, da-da-da, talking about whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck? And my computer just totally blue screened, so. Yeah, that was fun. Everything's fine. I mean, I think. I don't know why it did it. I don't want to know, but, like, everything, like, all my shit's still there. It booted up fine again, but yeah, after that, just seeing the giant white Norton, like, hey, like, in my face, it was like, Jesus Christ. Because my computer sits to the side of me, so I can check and see and make sure it's recording and it's not fucking up. Like, sometimes it does, my recording software, but Jesus, Norton. Anyway. Look, Adolphe, I brought all the drinks I got from my clients. I'm sure they'll go really well with the dishes she prepared, so let's get drinking. Bottoms up. I like the fact that Eve is like a fucking lush over here. Look at his little outfit without his jacket on. You sure love drinking for a lightweight. Yeah, it's easier to get drunk on less money. Since we have this duty to rest, you should accept his earnest offer, Adolphe. Cyan, won't you join in the drinking? I want to see Lucas drunk. I want to see Lucas drunk because instead of being prim and proper, you know, he's like, what the fuck? Swear to God, you guys all suck. He's so funny. I suppose I can enjoy some cheap drinks. I'll pass. I need to be 18 to drink. I don't drink either. Let me get some cups and glasses for everyone. Everyone sat down in the chairs around the table that were brought from Karun. Lucas gave a prayer of thanks to God, then the noisy banquet began. Meat, eggs, vegetables, and actually all the food looks really fucking good. Like, seriously, like, stop. That looks better than food in The Sims. Let's just be real. That looks better than any food I cook, okay? A variety of dishes colored the table, but in particular, the fish that Eve sliced really stands out. Is it the one that's in the back left? Over here, maybe? I was surprised the first time I heard that fish could be eaten raw, but cuts of fish really are pretty. Are really pretty, whatever. They look like shards of glass. The dish attracted everyone else's attention, and forks reached out for a slice of the fish. I decided to observe everyone's reactions before having a bite. 5 seconds later, a tragedy occurred. I was wondering if everyone was gonna, like, I wanted to wait until everyone else had a bite, and then 5 seconds later, I was like, that doesn't bode well. Huh? Glasses fell on the table, splashing wine all over. Like a murder scene, the red wine spread slowly across the floor. It sounds like it's going to be super dramatic, but you know, it's going to be like, oh, this is horrible. It's rotten. Oh, you know. Adolphe and Lucas and Cyan. 3 of them had their heads on the table, seizing and foaming at the mouth. Wait, what? That's way more intense than I figured. 3 who gathered to capture Boreal would never have met otherwise. What's happening? No reply. Suddenly, Cyan raised his arm limply after letting out a gurgled cough. We need a doctor, now! My mind stretched far into the distance toward Dr. Capucine. 10 minutes later, I was wondering what that dish was, but Eve, it was all your doing. I figure it was just badly prepared, and they're like, oh, and they're all turning green because it's horrible, not because they were dying. But I do like the fact that it's like a tragedy occurred, and you're like, it's probably going to be just that Eve is incapable of cooking fish. He's basically, okay, that answers the question that we had. Is he the Impy, or is he the Van Helsing? He's the fucking Van Helsing. He's trying to kill everyone with his food, okay? Like, right? We can't not make the parallels here when you've got fucking Lucas, who is the Saint Germain, who's probably stabbing bitches behind our back, okay? Also, same VA, hence why I make that analogy, obviously, in case we needed to be reminded. I just want to keep reminding everyone, because it's funny. But, so that's what I fully expected. It was like, tragedy occurred. I was like, ooh, the game's being dramatic, but it's going to be funny. And then they're like, everyone's foaming at the mouth, and you're going to get a doctor, and you're like, oh God, maybe it is serious. And now we're back here, and you're like, I kind of appreciate that this game is like a roller coaster. It's definitely dramatic, and there's dark things going on and whatever with Boreal and the murders and all this stuff and our weird death and all this tragedy, and it's going to get dark fast, okay? But our little man harem is so jovial and fun and playful with each other, and everything's lighthearted. And then you have this moment where you're like, is it dramatic? No, it's going to be lighter. No, it's dramatic. No, it's actually probably fine. Like, this one little moment is like that little roller coaster of this game just packed into like 2 minutes. Jesus. That was close. I thought I was being called to heaven before even reaching 23. Interesting. Convulsions throughout the body, intense urges to vomit, residual trembling of the limbs. I want to know exactly how you can prepare a dish that can bring about these symptoms. Three returned from the brink of death, their bodies propped up by their elbows. I don't think they were really at the brink of death. After witnessing the tragedy, I finally realized the truth behind Eve's cooking. He's the most horrible cook in the world. I don't know why it's so funny. I mean, you had to know, but her just saying it just makes it so funny. He is literally fucking Van Helsing. Oh, God. Okay. That's fun. Good time. I love it. Oh, dear God. His cooking actually knocked people out cold. The best part is, if it was fish you ate raw, he didn't even cook it. He literally just cut it up. So that's what's even worse. I mean, I think there's an art to, like, raw fish and sushi and shit like that. Like, the fish has to be really fresh and whatnot. So, like, but still, you couldn't even, like, the fish was swimming before you took it out of the bowl and killed it. So, like, that's how fresh could you get? Shit. Unless it's like puffer fish or certain fish where you like, you have to, there's a certain way, otherwise you're gonna die, Answer me. What kind of mystery ingredient did you add to the dish this time? Eve pouted a bit in response to Adolphe's question. He's doing science experiments. That's no mystery ingredient. I tasted what I made myself. You know too, Adolphe. Remember? That cute round fish that washed ashore that time. You didn't throw that dangerous-looking thing back in the ocean? You served that creature to us instead? Any ingredient, no matter how strange, can be delicious if served just right. He's literally a crazy man. I love it. My family said it for generations. There's no way I could let such an opportunity slip by. That family motto of yours, combined with your lack of taste, has almost killed the core 1,000 times, you murderer! So he's a bad taster, too. Maybe all of his taste buds burnt off in that fire he saved us from. That's really going too far, isn't it? But, like, maybe. But, oh my God. Okay. Eve, there's a reason why back in ye oldie times, there were people that had very heightened sense of tastes, and that were the people who would pick the berry. No, don't eat those. Those are poison. Or smell or whatever. Could just lick it and know. And then they were the, like, I don't think those were necessarily the taste testers for royal people. Royal people were like, I just need a POV to eat this, and if they die, it's no big loss, and rude. But you know what I mean? But, like, in ye olde hunter-gatherer times, you know, some people just, yeah, no, it doesn't. Like me, listen, like my mom will smell, yeah, I don't know if it smells good. I'm like, I can't tell. Like, it's got to be really repugnant for me to tell if like sour cream or milk or something is bad. Most of them, I'm like, I think it's fine. Tastes fine. I would probably, I haven't died yet or gotten sick from any of it. Okay, that's not true. I did get sick once. I put milk in my coffee, and it was the only thing different between what my mom and I ate, and it was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. She was like, yeah, I'm just going to use something else. And I'm pretty sure that's why I was sick for like hours that day. Thought I was going to die. I was like, my stomach hurt so bad. Okay. To be fair, it didn't smell bad, you know? But it wasn't like, actually, was it real milk? It might have been. I usually get like soy milk or like almond milk or something because like it usually lasts longer. And I don't like drink enough milk, even in my oatmeal or coffee, to like warrant having milk that's going to go bad all the time. But anyway, I can't take, like, I'm Eve, okay? Listen, you take a risk when you eat in my house. Like, it's fine. I opened it like a month ago. It doesn't smell. So, you mean, to be fair, I haven't died yet. But, like, I think we're on the same page. But, like, I also don't force people to eat my cooking. Okay? Like, I wouldn't be like, sour cream I've had for a while. No. If I was gonna, like, people would know these things, you know? Like nobody eats at my house. Like, okay, it's not that bad, but yeah, he's definitely not one of those people that can taste poison. Or, you know, was, like, good at sniffing and be like, something's wrong with this, I can tell. Where everybody else wouldn't know until they got food poisoning. Yeah, no, he's definitely not one of those people. He's the person that clearly can't tell if it's soured and chunky. It's fine. It's not fine then, okay? Even I know that. But he's that one pouring that chunky milk for everyone. Can't tell how pungent it smells from across the room. Wow. Worse than me, obviously. I found out that his cooking pit the members of the Corps against death on a daily basis. I think it's supposed to be put the members of the Corps against death on a daily basis. Or pit them against death? I guess. Science and Lucas's faces went pale as they imagined it. It was then that Mathis finally began to speak. Come to think of it, Mathis hadn't been knocked out cold like the others. Adolphe, there's no need to be so harsh. I mean, everyone has different tastes. I actually think it tasted quite good. This is what I was waiting for. When he said that, I was like, And then all their faces are like, okay, everyone has their shocked eyes except for Cyan, who just has a little sweat bead, like, but he's still got his, like, beautiful, like, slightly, like, I just love the fact that his shocked face is still calm and collected and sexy, while everyone else has, like, giant saucer eyes. Eyes filled with awe and confusion focused on Mathis. This is goddamn amazing. But I could see with my own eyes that he was speaking the truth, because he took another slice of the fish and ate it happily without showing any signs of illness whatsoever. Eve's new best friend. Seeing someone actually enjoy his dish, Eve's face lit up. I don't think there was anyone that enjoyed Van Helsing's cooking, though. So, like, Eve's got a one-up here. Right. It tastes good, doesn't it? Yes. Perhaps everyone was just surprised by its unique taste and texture. I'm sure the others will realize how good it tastes if you keep at it and continue serving your dishes. Your words are like gold. You're the first person to actually praise my food, Mathis. I'll do my best so that I can make more for everyone to enjoy. I'll be rooting for you. If you make something next time, I'd like to have some too. Of course, you'd be my honored guest. Everyone is like, God damn it, Mathis. On the one hand, while I was observing what seemed like an enjoyable conversation between brothers, the nightmare never ends. With a newfound supporter, his destructive cooking would only spread. I could tell that much from Adolphe's pained groan. After After carefully confirming that the other dishes were prepared by me, they began eating once again. Oh, we get a little group, CG. It's so cute. Why does Lucas have a little fang? Look at Lucas's little fang. Why does he have a fang? Dude, is he a vampire? The fuck does he have a fang? The little teethies. It's supposed to be like your like incisor or whatever, but like that is a fang, okay? That's pronounced. Cyan looks so fucking over this shit. Eve's like stroking his head. Stop it. Oh. Oh, I see you're not drinking much. Perhaps enjoying a meal with others like this is something foreign to someone who lives at the Institute. I simply don't like cheap liquor, and look who's talking. Is a devout follower of God supposed to be drinking alcohol? Many misunderstand this, but the God I worship does not prohibit drinking. I'm under the conviction that, so long as one does not engage in immoral behavior, they're free to drink as they please. I see. So how many drinks have you pleased yourself with? The phrasing. Only 12 bottles. I must warn you that overconsumption of alcohol within a short period of time affects your body's ability to break it down safely. So it's like, you'll get alcohol poisoning because it's alcohol poisoning. You look fine on the outside, but are you sure you're not drunk yourself? You'll get alcohol poisoning because it's alcohol poisoning. I was like, when he said that, I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense if you're drunk. I see you've only had a single glass, but still. Ah! My voice is busted. Way more than normal today. What a stupid assumption. I am not drunk. Oh my god, is he a lightweight? Behold, I can drink this cheap liquor like a fish. I suppose you're right, considering you're pouring enough over yourself to swim in. Cleaning this up will be quite a chore. You're calling me a booze-binging geezer. I said nothing remotely similar. Science drunk already. I thought you were tougher, but having a weakness or two actually makes you a lot more approachable. I love the fact that he's like a serious lightweight. Even more lightweight than Eve over here. Right, Spacey. Huh? How long have you been this short? You look pale as heck, too. Oh, Eve, you're talking to an empty bottle. This is why I love this game so much. I'm gonna be so mad at this game. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. This little bromance between our boyfriends is everything that I love. Okay, we just played Radiant Tale before this, and it was like the little joking and bickering and friendliness, and everybody's in our little happy found family, so adorable and happy and fluffy and cute. And did I mention happy? But I know I said it like 4 times. But like, I love it. That's what I love. It makes my heart warm. This is so giving me that. But I know damn well I'm gonna get bitch slapped in the face with trauma later. And like, it's like, even though I know this is gonna hurt so bad, I can't help but enjoy this so goddamn much. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. I figured he was just so drunk he thought he never realized that we were shorter than him, but he's talking to an empty bottle. Love it. Huh? Sorry about that. You're over here. Oh, Mathis. Mathis actually looks really pretty in the CG. I'm gonna open another bottle of wine. I can still drink. Adolphe looks so fed up with everybody. Look at him. Oh god. I want more too. You're spilling. You're not even pouring it into the glass. All our drunk boyfriends. I would be so like, listen, there is a point where people are kind of funny drunk, and then they get like really sloppy, messy, and you're like, no, it's too much, and now you make me uncomfortable. Alcohol is really scary. I think that summed up the situation well. But they look like they're having fun. I am a bit envious. Only I was born a year earlier. I'm just saying, ain't no cops in here. You're at home, you're not going anywhere. You're not gonna drive, right? Whatevs. But at the same time, I'm slightly disappointed that my image of Eve and Cyan has fallen apart. Getting to know a side that normally isn't seen is a good way to bond in friendship. Thinking quietly to himself, Adolphe held his head and groaned. Watch and learn. Don't grow up to be like them, got it? He pleaded to me and Mathis with as little strength as he had left in him. After nearly being poisoned, and now he's around a bunch of drunk chuckle fucks. Oh god, I love it. I looked around and saw that everyone was eating the dishes I cooked for them. Oh, well, this omelette tastes great. Well, maybe I should have this with milk and not wine. You should try the sautéed fish, too. The herbs bring out the flavors very nicely. Isn't there anything here that's less oily? My stomach can't take it. You should try these sandwiches over here and... This feels similar to when I first brewed tea for Eve. I brought it up earlier, but I thought maybe I should confirm just in case. That was probably not the best time, but... I mentioned this earlier, but I prepared most of the dishes. Are you okay with that? My voice stopped everyone, including the two who were drunk. The four of them blinked a few times, and they all looked at me at once. Okay with what? Because that was everyone. So I don't think we've done it in this game. So if you're new here, or this is one of your first times, when multiple people talk, give it the Valley Girl voice, okay? It's just easier. Sometimes. No. They looked at me with bewilderment, not understanding what I was asking. I was surprised. Surprised and happy beyond belief. Before I knew it, a tear rolled down my cheek. What's the matter? Everyone's like, why? And we're like, and then they're like, what the fuck happened? They don't know that we're happy. I get their confusion. Did we say or do something wrong? Don't cry. Here, my handkerchief. Whoa! His sprite just popped off the screen. Well, you fell spectacularly. Let me lend you my... Sorry. I thought you were my wine glass. Please don't worry. You do have a strange way of being drunk. I'll get a handkerchief and some water so you drunken bastards stay put. Each of their actions brought me a sense of joy and comfort, and soon we're laughing and crying at the same time. I couldn't hold back any longer. I bent forward, holding my stomach with laughter. They've got to be real confused, especially the two drunkards. What a warm and joyous sight. I know, right? Game's so gonna bitch slap us very soon. I think that only days ago I held a dagger to my neck with the desire to commit suicide. I never expected the day would come when I would be laughing again like a child. Way to bring it around and make it slightly sad, game. Thanks. You're like, oh. Yeah. Oh, we're having a good time now, right? See. Game's just waiting. It's like, don't get too happy. Do you remember? Remember how dark we are? I know how dark you are, game. We were enjoying the moment. This all feels like a dream. It might be. We don't know. We could all actually already be dead. How many games have we played where we're like, are we dead? Is that what's going on here? And we've been dead. Maybe Onko, like, talking about he's coming from hell, but maybe we're in hell already. Because this place kind of seems like hell. You know what I mean? And relivers just stay in hell instead of like, no, you only have to serve 23 years in hell before you get to go reborn back on a normal, nice planet, not this shithole that we live in. You don't know. You don't know what hell's like. Have you been there? No. And if you did, you probably don't remember. You know what I'm saying? And even the rest got through their after even the rest got through their hangover, we were finally moving forward to get our operation underway. The tent from Karun that Hugo delivered was set up in the garden. We decided on the grouping and placement of the core so that they could protect the commoners first and foremost. We also got approval to spread rumors about requesting access to the bodies from their families. Aw, I did miss Hugo's stunningly gorgeous blue eyes. And actually, his pupils, you don't really notice because it kind of just looks like the way his eyes are, but his pupils are also blue in the middle. And like Jean's got like normal black pupils, so obviously not a reliever yet. Jean was keeping an eye on the situation in Cheetahs and visited Mathis to see how he was doing. Lucas had something he needed to attend to during the afternoon hours, but he always returned by night, reporting to us information he heard from the residents of both Cheetahs and Cohen. Ryan returned to the Institute each day to prepare the dummy corpses for the operation. The two members of the Corps were finding time to train with Mathis, and as for me, the best I could do for everyone was handling the daily chores so that I could make their lives a little less stressful. Okay, I understand in this situation. Okay, we got people prepping dummies, you're going around checking things, Lucas has got other jobs, whatever, Zion's off doing science shit, you got, like, Adolphe and Eve training Mathis. So, yeah, we're gonna do, like, the cleaning and stuff. So it's not like, that I'm not begrudging now, but it was when everybody's just, like, sitting around like, hey, we're just sitting here, gonna watch you dust. Bitch, get a fucking dust rag and dust yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. I get it. Adolphe and Eve needed to relax a little bit, not strain themselves too much, but like at least they went and got groceries. Sion was just being useless, but that's fine. One of them's allowed to be useless. All of them are not allowed to be useless, okay? Because then it's not funny. Late one night, unable to sleep, I was lured outside by the moonlight shining through the window. Adolphe's house was located on the outskirts of town, so regardless of the time, the area was always quiet and peaceful. Onco? So much so that it was hard to believe a killer like Borio was actually hiding somewhere relatively nearby. Actually, unless you see Lucas and Borio in the same place at the same time, he's sleeping in there with you. Though it might not be right to say, I felt the days here were very fun. No one died because of me, and no notable misfortune occurred. Everyone here accepted me for who I was, allowing me to enjoy myself as I pleased. Happiness I dreamt about for years had finally arrived, but still confused at the change. I don't blame you. It's like we stepped outside, that's why I said Unco. I was like, Unco? Is he going to show up? I was like, I couldn't sleep. It's as if finally living like a normal girl. Yeah, this is what I expected. We came outside at night, and I was expecting, and I'm going to guarantee you this is Unco. Oh, why, of course. After all, I'm suppressing your power. That's what I was wondering, too, when she's like, I haven't killed no misfortune, and I was like, didn't you make a deal with Onko? Like, maybe that's... He is lovely. Oh god, I missed that part, sorry. You're the Watchman of Death who came from Hades to appear in front of me that day. Onko. It's been a while, my dear princess. I'm glad to see you're well. So have my words served as a beacon for you? Yes. After a moment's pause, I nodded. This mysterious man was responsible for the life I was living now. And he wanted me to go after the killer in exchange for it to continue. I love the fact that, like, the way his hair is entwined in his fingers. If we entered into a contract together, I didn't need to be so cautious in front of him. Still, what exactly do you mean when you say that you're suppressing my power? It's exactly as I said. And that night when I stopped you from committing suicide, I cast a certain spell over you. I was successful in suppressing your power as death for the time being. Duration. And that's the reason nothing bad has happened? Although luck does play a factor, your current circumstances are largely owed to me. But my power has its limits. Once the time comes, you will return to your form as death, and again bring demise to those around you. And that's where the bad endings are going to come in. When we're romancing and everyone's going to die. I see. As I murmured sadly, Onko's brow rose. My dear princess, please do not be sad. I am not doing this out of spite or to play with you. Your power as death is great. I cannot completely nullify it without other conditions in place. Which is why I proposed that contract to fulfill the required conditions. That's right. I remember you said something similar back then. Thank you very much for the reminder. I can't promise you now, but I'll think about it once I'm feeling calmer. Ah, good to hear. Things will start moving before you know it. Through your many encounters, I wonder what deaths you will come to face. I look forward to the day when you make your decision at the Lycris field. A curtain of leaves flew into the air, and just like on that first night, Unko disappeared into the darkness. Interesting. So we haven't decided to make a deal with him. Yes. My current life was only temporary. No matter how fun things were, everyone had a place to which they must return one day. In fact, once this incident was resolved, it was possible I would never speak with those who gathered here ever again. I accept that. I only want to repay them for the bright smiles they gave me. I'll do what I can to help. I knew exactly how I could start. I could make something even better for breakfast to make everyone happy. The following day, finally the key piece needed to complete the operation had finally arrived. So those are the dummy corpses. In the room were a few bodies made to look like real humans. I gasped in surprise upon taking a closer look at the faces lacking eyes and a mouth. And the bodies here were made using pork, formed into the likeness of a human body. And they're still neat in a sense, so I'm going to damage them to be similar to the bodies when they were initially discovered. I bet they're good enough to deceive Boreal. I doubt that, if he's in the room with us. I was frightened by their appearance. I assumed you were going to prepare them out of ceramic or mud. And that would only make it easier to discover their fakes at first touch. Lion added that it would also pose a risk as they could be easily broken. And the real issue starts now. I want you to put clothes on them. Huh? Lion tipped over a stack of boxes and out came a load of different clothes. It would look odd for the bodies to be completely naked. I have wigs for them too. You can put on any clothes you like so long as they match the age and gender of the actual victims. I see. So that's why he brought me here. Understood. Let me get started right away. When is it? Well, I've only taken a glance so far, but the clothes you have don't seem to match the size of any of the dummies. The dummies should have been made to resemble adult men and women. The clothes here were too small. I could even spot some children's clothes mixed in. I just force them on. Clothes will tear if we force them. Why were these selected in the first place? I purchased the best-selling and highest-valued clothes available at the marsh. So the compatibility to age and gender... I don't care. Clothes are simply meant to hide a person's skin from the public. Okay. He's so contradictory. I don't care what you put them in as long as it matches the victims. These clothes aren't gonna fit. I don't care. Just whatever. Dude, what the fuck? This seemed to be typical of Cyan, who lived isolated at the Institute. Still didn't solve the problem of not having suitable clothing to fulfill his demand of dressing them properly. I'm sorry, but you give me some time. I'll try and resize the clothes using extra fabric we have here. You can do that. Yes, just enough to make them decent. Understood. Do as you please, but you needed to get it all done by tomorrow night. Right. I quickly got to work by carrying the clothes to the room where I was currently staying. You have, a ton of extra fabric with all the clothes, so yeah, I think that's what she meant. I can't believe how compliant and obedient she is, considering who raised her. I have no interest in her superstitious spreading of misfortune, be it in the form of death, natural disasters, or the like. Depending on the situation, her existence may be of benefit later. That's Cyan getting the feels, and he just doesn't know what it is, because the man's never had the feels. After somehow managing to tailor the clothes to fit the dummies, everyone finally began to take definitive action for the operation. Dummies were damaged and decorated with fake blood to look similar to the bodies from the incident, then placed in the tent. Families of the victims began to spread rumor that Cyan forcefully purchased the bodies from them, just as Eves had planned. Just Eves. Why do I pluralize his name every once in a while? I'm sorry. At Cernival, Daoud helped us with the operation by making an announcement that the Institute had nothing to do with it. We slowly increased the number of bodies in the tent over a 2-day span. Now we were lying in wait for Boreal to arrive. The Corps had fortified their night patrol unit so that the fight with Boreal wouldn't lead to casualties among the residents. While it would be helpful to have help from anyone we could get, you have to remember that you're facing a monster that even our top two guys didn't stand a chance against. Sending our men won't help much and might even be a burden on you guys. If you both die, there's a good chance I'll be made leader. To hell with having that kind of responsibility. So Eve, Adolphe, you don't have to win. Just don't die on me. Of course. I do have to reopen Karun or everyone's going to forget about my business. I've got no intention of losing this time. We'll come back in one piece. Oh, are we sure? We're not in a rout yet, so I don't think anyone can technically die. Master, I am still against your involvement. It's far too dangerous. If you can at least have me... No. Can't have too many involved. We'd be giving ourselves away. For your concern, Jean, but this time, it involves the whereabouts of the missing bodies. I won't get in everyone's way, and I won't run off like I did before. I'll be back for sure, so please wait for me at home. Understood. I will hold you to your word. I'm gonna miss Hugo and Jean. Cyan, make sure you end this in a jiffy and come back as soon as possible. Without you, our overall production rate's taken a nosedive. I haven't slept in 3 days. 3 days is nothing. I know you have what it takes to surpass my record of 17 days. So you want to kill me off early? You want to kill me off early, do you? I knew this was going to happen. But are you really going to do this? Yes, Adolphe isn't too happy, but everyone came to the decision that it'd be safer for me to be with them than staying at his place alone. I'm worried about them, too. I want to try and help them as much as possible without getting in the way. Are you sure there's nothing dangerous involved in what you're going to do? Yes, my job is to stay away from danger, take care of anyone who might get injured from the fight. I won't do anything rash, so please don't worry about me, Mother. This is no ordinary person you children are facing, so of course I'm worried about you, but I did also accept your selfish request back then. Mother, make sure you and Adolphe return to me safely, you hear? After all, we haven't had the dinner that we were supposed to have that day. Understood. We're all saying our goodbyes to the people that love us. 2 days quickly passed as each of us prepared for the upcoming encounter. Finally, our target made his move. Alright, so this is going to be interesting now. I could hear rustling coming from outside. Now I'm intrigued. I was sleeping near the others in the room, but I quickly rose upon hearing the noise. He's here. Everyone took notice and got up. We then peeked outside to discover a shadow trying to drag one of the dummies Cyan made out of the tent. Fearsome shadow was burned into my mind. Okay. Alright. So this is where it's going to get tricky. Because, is Lucas here or not? Because if he's not here, so shouldn't anybody notice that? But if he is here, then, they purposely gave Boreo's sprite two of the same poses as Lucas. Let's go. Notice we didn't see, Lucas saying goodbye to anyone, or, talking to anyone, but who's he going to talk to? We have no... He doesn't have a side character friend. We have Mother. Adolphe technically has Salome too. Cyan has Daoud. Eve has Hugo. Mathis has Jean. But, Lucas doesn't have, a side character. Everybody else has a side character. Adolphe, Eve, and Mathis all jumped out at the same time. The shadow had dragged out one of the dummies from the tent, then turned his back for a moment. Mathis quickly threw his knife like before. The knife found its mark on Boreo's back, and he groaned in an indistinguishable voice. But now I'm wondering if... I mean, we're still standing in the Lucas pose, but, like, what I was wondering is, like, oh, he's here, blah, blah, blah. Do you think Lucas paid someone to go to drag the bodies? And they're gonna, like... You know what I mean? If Lucas was here, that would have been my suspicion, is, like... Because I'm still on... It's just, you know what it is? Like, I really have nothing else aside from the cross, but that could literally be anyone. Like, it could be Capucine, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Because of him working for the Exorcist Foundation, whatever the fuck it was called. Those people, right? And, like, it's probably a character that we've met. Or someone with a side character. Oh, actually, Lucas had Capucine. There you go. So Lucas didn't say anything to him. You know what I mean? But... it's the fact that the game made the sprite have the same poses. That's really what leads me to, like, be on that. So if Lucas is here, in the same place at the same time as Boreo, my instant thought would have been, he got someone, paid someone, gave him his clothes, whatever, to go get the bodies out. Because he's dragging the bodies. And Boreo, I don't think... Lucas, we know, doesn't need to drag the bodies, but I don't think Boreo would need to drag the bodies. And the fact that just now Mathis throwing a knife hits him, that doesn't seem right. Boreo's always way more intuitive with what's going on around him from what we've seen. So I'm thinking that this is a dummy stealing the dummies. This is a ruse. You've got like a double, a stand-in. You know what I mean? We're being bamboozled. In a flash, Adolphe moved to the front and Eve toward the back to sandwich Boreo. Listen carefully. The knife that struck you is treated with a slow-acting, virulent poison. The antidote's something only we can concoct. If you want to live, drop your weapon and raise your... They were bluffing. The knife was treated with only an anesthetic. But there was no reason for us to tell Boreo the truth. I mean, why would you say that? Listen, we're pretending that knife had poison in it, so you just go along with it, you know. If this were a normal person, he'd beg for his life and give up to get the poison out of him, but... Boreo didn't say anything and didn't even look afraid. Well, also, okay, with that, it's like... Lucas knows the whole plan, so he would know this was bullshit. Oh. But you notice... Have you seen Lucas here yet? No. He hurtled the dummy he dragged out right at Adolphe. The dummy landed on the sword that Adolphe raised in defense. Okay. So I'm starting to feel like this... What's going on his arm? Do you see that? His sword and sight were momentarily blocked, and using the opportunity... You know what I'm seeing? Like, you can see... This is like when the arm race... But you can see something going on. Is that just a sleeve? It might just be, like rumples on a sleeve. Yeah, because the way the arms... It would have to be a sleeve. Okay. I just all of a sudden noticed, I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway. His sword and sight were momentarily blocked, and using the opportunity, Boreo quickly turned and ran as blood continued to seep down his back. You know what I didn't see? You know what I didn't see? Lucas and Boreo in the same place at the same time. So, thank you. I don't know. Game is making me... He ran? Oh. Now Lucas is here, though, and, like... But... Look, I still sus. You could have gotten someone else to stand in for you because you knew you would be here. Okay. Somebody that knows your secret identity, or you could have just paid someone to show up and do it. You know what I mean? Like... And obviously they're not going to make, like, a fake Boreo sprite. They're just going to use the same one. So, or, yeah, he ran off and then all of a sudden now Lucas is inside, but we didn't. We're like, oh, Lucas went outside with them and then we think he goes outside and then he comes in. Or, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't see him go out with them. We didn't see him in here. We don't know really what happened. So I'm still sus of Lucas on this, okay? There's going to be an explanation for this. Unbelievable. I'm amazed he decided to flee by being struck by the poison.
This is no time to talk. Let's go.
Okay, so it makes it seem like we were all peeping from the inside. So we were standing next to Lucas while we saw Boreal outside. So I think he got a body double, basically. Sorry. Got away.
Well, I never expected him to just run without listening to our threat.
Because he knows it's fake, but... Also, if it were really Boreal, don't you think it would have fought them all and everything instead of just running off? It was probably like a make it look legit.
Considering he murdered all those Royal Guard soldiers, he's not an easy target. But his movement wasn't very quick. We should be able to go after him by car. Hey, Claude boy.
Right. I'll get the car ready at once. Also, his movements weren't very quick. He killed a bunch of Royal Guards. He got hit by the dagger. That's all, to me, signs that it's not, like, really, it wasn't really Boreal, i.e. Lucas, which you could tell because Lucas is here. So I'm still on the Lucas and Boreal were the same person. This body double that showed up was someone that he got to hired because if Boreal really wanted the bodies, well, I feel like he's dragging one he would have noticed, fuck, it's not real, and pieced out. But the fact that he got hit at all, you know what I mean? He would know it's not really poison, because Lucas would have told him. So, and the fact that, oh, he got away fast, he's not really running that fast. He saw that motherfucker just bounce off motherfucking walls like Spider-Man, so. And just one last confirmation. Are you sure you can drive, Mathis? Yes, I can drive. Did drive here when I first came, you know. Lucas trying to stall the group. I felt assured seeing his confident nod as I sat down in the front seat as the team's medic. I love the fact that this is so unproportional, like the back of the car and then there's, like, ridiculous.
Jeez.
Suck it up. Say it anymore and I'll throw you out. I could sit in the back instead. We don't have time to be changing seats. Let's get going.
Yeah, but will we make it? Oh, you mean it looks like he ducked into the alleys?
No problem at all. Firmly grip the steering wheel and rev the engine. Oh my god, he's gonna be like fucking Fast and the Furious over here. I can catch up to him if he's only that far ahead. Mathis's eyes changed. It's gonna be like a fucking... Yeah! I didn't think we were gonna get a CG for this, but I love it. That's exactly what I was expecting. When he's like, don't worry, and I was like, oh shit. Look at him. Everyone is terrified. Cyan looks like he's gonna vomit. Adolphe looks just like horrified and also pissed off that Cyan's gonna vomit on him. Oh my god. Lucas and Eve are terrified, so am I. And Mathis is like fucking pedal to the metal rage machine. I love this so much. It's shit like this. We're in the midst of this like drama. Oh my god, we're kind of chasing down a murderer and stuff. And it's like, okay, dramatic. But then you have this hilarity going on. With a huge roar of the engine, the car quickly turned into an iron horse galloping across the road. Mathis, you're going way too fast. You're dangerously close to... Please don't talk to me now. I'm driving. Okay. I was sitting in the passenger seat so I could hold on to the windowsill to fight the turns, but the back seat was in utter chaos.
Whoa! Slow down, will ya?
Oh, I see Mathis turns into someone else the moment he's behind the wheel. He's maneuvering the car rather well, but this is without a doubt against the law. I suppose I should set aside some time to talk to him about driving safety.
This is no time to be thinking about stuff like that. We're gonna die if he keeps this up. Karun, or maybe you, Kor. Give me your scabbard. I'll take your clothes too.
Hell no. You're not gonna barf into... Poor Cyan. I'm sorry. Ian being such a fucking lightweight, he has one drink and he's shit-faced, is funny. Him, like, he's so delicate. He's such a delicate little flower. It's so goddamn amusing, and I love him so much more. He's like, oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, I need to clutch my pearls. Oh, dear God. He's a delicate little drama queen. It's so fun. Oh. Oh, dear God. Please, everyone, be quiet. The car took a sharp right. I was surprised to see that we just narrowly fit into the alley. Like, motherfucker, I love it. Fortunately, there weren't many homes here, and the Corps already told everyone to stay inside, but what the hell are they doing? It wasn't surprising that a few curious people peeked outside through their windows. What the heck is going on? I thought the Corps said they were on a manhunt for that killer. I only got a glimpse, but did anyone else see that death girl, Adolphe, and Eve in the car?
Huh? Wait, so she's actually helping him catch the killer? No, wait. So that means she wasn't the one who killed all those people?
Inside the speeding car, I had no idea what the residents might be thinking as we whipped past their faces in the window. I am terribly sorry for my broken, busted-ass voice. It's going to be like this forever. Not forever, but it's going to take me a while to get my voice back to normal, and obviously, because I record a lot, you're going to be dealing with it for a lot longer than it's going to take for it to heal. I don't know what happened. I know it was bad a while ago, but it felt like the last couple of days, like, oh, it's getting okay, and then just like, now it's bad again, and I'm like, I don't know. But like, I mean, I know I do the voices, but like, dude, I played 3 Danganronpa games and did a Monokuma voice, and that hurt at the time, and whatever, but like, these voices are the standard voices we do, so I'm not really sure why I'm so broken. Damn. Sparks flew as the car scraped the walls from time to time, but Mathis kept up the speed in pursuit of our target. Finally, found him! His eyes filled with hatred. Mathis gripped the wheel tightly, and without a single moment of hesitation, you're gonna run him over, aren't you? Do what I can to keep the shock minimal, and try to brace yourself! That was so not his voice, but whatever. Before anyone could ask what he meant, the engine roared and accelerated to its maximum speed. Wait, hold on! You're not going to... One of the benefits of being in the front seat was that I was in full view of the accident Mathis was purposely going to cause. Everyone, duck! I quickly shouted to the back seat, but Mathis suddenly pumped the brakes and... Die! The car finally collided. He rammed the car right into Boreal, who was running ahead of us. Okay, here's the thing. I don't believe it's really the real Boreal, because again, I still think it's Lucas. And again, we were in the alley, we saw that motherfucker Spider-Man off the walls. So you're telling me, 1, he couldn't avoid a knife that was thrown at him, and 2, he couldn't get away fast enough for us to like get in the car, hop it, trace him down, and then get hit by a car? He Spider-Man'd up the walls. This feels unbelievable. Because if it was the real Boreal, we would have gone chasing him down and he would have been gone. You know what I mean? Is everyone all right? With my medical kit in hand, I jumped out of the passenger seat and checked on everyone in the back seat. Although I'm surprised that fake Boreal didn't, like, duck into a small alley, a doorway, whip off the hood, blah, 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 duck into something else, or have an easier escape place where they duck in, whip off the hood, and then they're like, oh, hey, I'm just popping out the door. You know what I mean? With my medical kit in hand, I jumped out of the passenger seat and checked on everyone in the back seat. Sorta. We're miraculously still alive. Aside from us, are you all right? Yes, I suppose I was lucky. Lucas kicked off the now wrecked car door and tumbling out behind him, came the other 3 passengers.
Die my ass! We're the ones who almost died. Ugh!
Ryan covered his mouth with his hand just as he was beginning to curse the driver. A small shadow quickly got out of the car.
I'm so sorry. Sean always says I'm a reckless driver, but the moment I got behind the wheel, I felt hot and just lost it.
He's a stumbling mess, and then he gets behind the wheel of the car. We're gonna kill this motherfucker. Like, it's just so funny. For some reason, I felt a chill when I saw Mathis back to his usual self. That aside, what happened to Borio? Adolphe, over there! I pointed my finger at... On the road was Borio using his weapon as a crutch to hold himself up. Good, he's alive. My sense of relief was short-lived as he positioned his weapon and, with a swift kick off the ground, leapt toward us like a beast. Okay, well now he's acting like his normal self. Eve, get ready.
He's still gonna fight. Don't kill him. We need to interrogate him about where he hid the bodies he stole.
We'll do what we can. You two, move back with me. Got it! I mean, again, Borio stands exactly like this. Come the fuck on. At my former teacher's instruction, I somehow forced Mathis, who was trying his best to stop himself from attacking Borio, to step back as far as possible. And again, I don't believe that the real Borio would have taken a knife in the back, run down an alley and been able to be hit by a car. Right? The moment arrived. Weapons of offense and defense clashed. But if he doesn't get away... This is the same CG we had when they fought him the first time. Just like that night. Yeah. More than that night, Borio attacked them more fiercely than before. Huh. He was wounded badly from the collision, but he showed no signs of pain as his wounds tore with each swing of his halberd. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it does throw a wrench in the works of my Lucas and Borio are the same person, but I'm still on that, and I'm just trying to figure out how this is working, because, again, Borio should have been able to leap out the it doesn't seem logical, but then now he's fighting just like he would have, so this is like, oh no, okay, it is the right Borio, but how the fuck did he get hit in the back with a knife? How the fuck did he get hit by a car? You know what I mean? Like, you know damn well when we were first introduced to this character, you'd have been like, nah, he would have Spider-Man'd up the fucking wall. We never would have caught him, first of all. He would have, like, the second Mathis chucked his knife, he would have whipped around, knocked that shit right back in Mathis's face like he did. You know? I might have been able to buy the knife in the back because he wasn't paying attention. And if we snuck up, we got one up on him. But there's no way he would not have been able to outrun that car. With what we've seen of him and his super strength and all that shit. He would have gotten away. So, like... But now we're here, and Lucas is here, and so this feels weird, but... I still think it's Lucas. I don't know how he's doing this. I don't know what magic he's using. But... You know? I mean, there has to be something behind it, because they wouldn't do all this and not have Lucas in the scene, because then you would know for a fact. And I want you to doubt yourself right now, but I still think it's Lucas. Because again, why would they give the sprite the exact same poses? You know what I mean? That's weird. Unless they just recycled Lucas's, like, sprite, but... You know what I mean? They've never really... Why? That doesn't make sense. That feels like a cheap out, you know? So, like, I can't think that with all the other details they've put in and all the other... that they would do that. Like, we'll just reuse Lucas's sprite. No one will know. It'll be fine. You know? So... Anyway, we'll see. Yeah. Even so... He was confused. He was parrying the blows with his sword as he glanced toward Adolphe. Unless he's not fighting the same way he normally does. The eyes looked back at him in agreement, which meant he was not the only one.
His power and speed's about the same as...
Crash? About the same as what? Something's missing on this line. His power and speed's about the same as something something Crash. Like, I feel like something's missing.
He's gotten weaker. His moves aren't as refined as before.
See? Okay. Not the real Boreo. I mean, obviously they're using the same spray, but during the previous battle, the two of them learned that they were at a disadvantage from both the skill and strength standpoint. But now the assailant was attacking without hiding his savagery. He was attacking without any thought now, like a feral animal. Back then they sensed that none of their attacks would hit their mark. Their instincts told them so they focused on their defense. Now, you could say, well, okay, now he's feral because he's cornered. But how did he get cornered if he's so fucking good? You know what I'm saying? So, all right. This is leading me to think that it's not the same Boreo. It's somebody standing in. You know, who might also be super fucking strong.
I think my attack will work now.
He suddenly decided on it.
Not that I have a choice. He might die if we prolong the fight any longer. I still haven't asked him about anything. About why he did what he did. Can't have him die on us now.
Eve began to tap to a rhythm and repositioned his sword. He then charged straight at Boreo. Wait! Adolphe called out as soon as he realized what Eve was going to do. Boreo was ready to thrust his weapon. Eve smiled on the inside. His target had no intention of dodging.
Whoa!
Part of his shoulder was gouged, sending blood into the air. Still, Eve didn't stop. With a good deal of effort, Eve crouched down and appeared from below Boreo, who was stunned by the move. He thrust his sword to pierce Boreo's arm. See, this would never happen if it were, I'm saying. And quickly... Damn it! Tell me before you do these things! Adolphe appeared from behind Eve and swung his sword. His blade struck the target's other arm. Not the real Boreo, I know it's not. You're not convincing me. I still think it's Lucas and he sends someone in to, like, cover for him. Eve!
Eve!
Both arms wounded, blood flowed down onto the road. Mathis and I tried to call Eve's name, but he wasn't showing any pain at all. He then pushed his sword deeper into Boreo so he couldn't get away.
Oh.
Boreo finally lost his ability to hold his weapon when I sensed a sharp object flying by the side of my face. Mathis. The projectile pierced Boreo's shoulder. No! Before Boreo could even groan, Adolphe and Eve quickly tackled him to the ground. There is no way this would have happened. There's no way. I knew we hit him with a car, so... But you know what I mean? This doesn't track with what we've seen of Boreo from before. He took out 20 fucking Royal Guard soldiers. I don't think he'd get hit by a car. The object that struck him fell and clinked onto the ground. A knife? Wait! On the ground was the knife that Mathis always had strapped to his leg. He'd drawn it without any of us knowing and threw it at lightning speed. I didn't notice it at all. I looked at Mathis in surprise, but for some reason, he was also looking at the knife on the ground and his own leg in confusion. He just did it, without thinking.
Huh? My knife. Oh, wonderful. That was a perfect throw indeed. Well done, Mathis.
No, I didn't. Is Lucas gaslighting Mathis now? He's like, oh, you threw that, and Mathis like, I didn't, because Lucas did.
It looks like you're full of surprises today, young Claude. And now then, it looks like everything's over.
I don't believe it. Before Mathis could respond, Cyan walked toward Boreo. I'm just so curious. Seeing Boreo trying to break free, Cyan briskly kicked his head.
Oh, where are my manners? You'll have to forgive me, as I'm not in the best mood after that car ride.
He then stomped on Boreo's head so that it bounced off the ground. Oh, guys! I was like, we're over time and we're gonna have to keep going and we'll find out. But no, we're gonna find out next time. I'm cock blocking us all. Oh my god, so good. I can't wait to find out because again, they're gonna reveal it. It's gonna either be a side character. I would think Capucine if it's gonna be anybody, like, or it's gonna be a random fucking person, some random dude, you know. And if they don't show a sprite for Boreal when they unmask him, absolutely a fake. Calling it. Okay, I'm still on the it's absolutely a fake. But are they going to go to the level of creating a sprite for the fake? Or not showing him? Or putting in, like, Capucine as the fake or something? Like, he offered to help Lucas, and then that would make Lucas even more suspicious. So I feel like it's going to be a random person. But I'm just curious what they're going to do here. Because I'm still on, it's Lucas, and this... Mathis and Eve... Not Mathis. Adolphe and Eve had the look in between themselves like, yeah, something's off here. And I feel like it would have been a little more explained if that Eve line wasn't cut off, something about, like, yada yada crash. Like, you know, like, is he just like this because we crashed a car into him? But I feel like he knows something's wrong. Because again, I don't believe Boreal would have gotten stabbed by a knife. I don't believe that when he was running away that we would have been able to catch up to him. He would have Spider-Man'd off the fucking roofs and been over the top before we even realized where he was, so there's no way he would have gotten hit by a car. And then to say that, like, oh, now he's reckless and feral and he's just attacking wildly is like, that doesn't sound like his MO. And yeah, you could write that off as, which I was thinking they expected you to do, like, oh, well, he's acting like this and it's out of character because he got hit by a car, so now he's, like, fighting for his life to get away, and it's like, oh, he realizes he's not so tough type of a thing, because that would be logical, but I still don't think it's the real one. So anyway, we'll see what happens next time. So I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.